Tonight on News Prime, House of Representatives passes bill allowing electronic transmission of election results amidst walkouts. In business, the federal government unveils agribusiness youth strategy to boost food security. On the foreign scene, South Africa ramps up vaccinations for herds. And in sports night, Nigeria's World Cup fate uncertain as FIFA delays Democratic Republic of Congo verdict. Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Uyi Agmofwegbe. Here's a quick reminder that we are on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Tonight, we begin by telling you the House of Representatives has passed the Electoral Act Amendment Bill to allow for electronic transmission of election results. However, the emergency plenary for which the House reconvened to rescind its earlier decision for only electronic transmission descended into chaos as aggrieved members staged a walkout. National Assembly correspondent Aniete Patrick reports.
In the past few weeks, the Electoral Act Amendment Bill has been in the news, forcing the two chambers of the National Assembly into emergency sittings. As the House reconvened, the Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, appreciated members' sacrifice.
It's very important that we sacrifice this morning to come and attend to those important issues. The issues that will define the elections of 2027 and give clear vision as to what is expected to be done.
But as the motion for the rescission was moved and seconded, the House descended into chaos as some lawmakers kicked. This forced the Speaker to call for a closed-door session. After about 2 hours behind closed doors, aggrieved members insisted on clause-by-clause consideration of the 156 clauses of the bill, leading to another rowdy session. Some of the members moved to amend the latest amendments into the bill, but their motions were negatived by the majority.
Order 906 says, it shall be out of order to attempt to reconsider any specific question upon which the House has come to a conclusion during the current session, except upon a substantive motion for decision.
Now that we have passed the electronic transmission and we have accepted it, this is the most important referee in this election, because you are expected to transmit the results from the polling units.
We have forgotten that what Nigerians are asking for and what is important is legality of a transmitted result, whether fully transmitted or partially transmitted, or whether the transmission fails.
Not satisfied with the outcome of their motions, the aggrieved lawmakers from the opposition staged a walkout, but that action did not stop the consideration of the bill. Moments later, the opposition caucus reconvened at the National Assembly Media Center, where they addressed journalists, describing the development as a setback to electoral reform.
We have asked that that clause should remain solely for electronic transmission without any provision. Aside that, we have also proposed that where there is a conflict between from EC8A, which is manual and capable of being manipulated, and the electronically transmitted results, that the electronically transmitted results should take precedence.
Meanwhile, the spokesman of the House, Akin Rotimi Jr., addressed the media on the amendments and need for proper understanding of Nigerians in delivering the dividends of democracy.
We will have left the work to just the Harmonization Committee if there were not other amendments that we sought to make, which required for us to rescind the passage of the bill which was passed in in December, we had to rescind that and take new considerations. So
Follow the uproar that happened in the House of Representatives concerning the Electoral Act Amendment Bill and lawmakers insisting the clause-by-clause taking of the bill to ensure that lawmakers are in line with the passage of the Electoral Amendments Bill. The House also subsequently adjourned the sitting to the 24th of February 2026 for all committees to conclude its budgetary presentation and defense across all MDAs. From the National Assembly, Aniete Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Senate has passed the Electoral Act 2022 Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2026, resolving a major controversy over the electronic transmission of election results, provisions seen as critical for transparency in the 2027 general elections. Kekalamo Okere has details.
The drama unfolded when Senator Enaya Abaribe demanded a division on Clause 60, sparking intense debate among lawmakers. Deputy President of the Senate, Barau Jibri, argued that revisiting already settled provision would be out of order, but Senate leader Opayemi Bamidele clarified that his motion for rescission gave room for a proper review.
Any senator may challenge the opinion of the president by claiming a division. So I'm calling for a division.
The essence of a motion for rescission is that whatever was passed in the past remain in the past. And we are reopening the whole issue. So
in a division, 55 senators voted to retain the clause as the original drafted, while 15 opposed. Following the vote, the Senate rescinded the earlier passage and referred the bill to the Committee of the Whole for detailed reconsideration before final enactment.
Bill 2026 to regulate the conduct of federal, state, and area councils elections in the Federal Capital Territory and for other related matters 2026, third reading taken and passed.
The passage of the bill marked a crucial step in Nigeria's electoral reform process while ensuring that technical and logistical considerations are addressed ahead of the 2027 general elections. Kekalamo Okere, Global Television News.
Thank you so very much, Kekalamo. The federal government has approved an immediate 5 billion naira intervention fund to cushion the impact of the devastating fire that gutted single markets in Kano State. The announcement comes 2 days after the inferno destroyed goods and property estimated at over 5 billion naira, leaving hundreds of traders in distress. Global TV correspondent Idris Jibrain reports from Kano.
This is Singa Market in Kano, one of the busiest food and confectionery trading centers in the West African sub-region. Until a few days ago, traders from Chad, Niger, Burkina Faso, and other African countries regularly converged here for business, making the market a major hub for regional commerce. But late Sunday night, tragedy struck. A massive fire outbreak razed a large section of the market, destroying hundreds of shops, vehicles, and valuable goods. Local sources say the incident claimed the lives of at least 7 traders, while many others were left counting heavy losses.
We lost almost 10 billion naira yesterday. Cash, not goods. We calculate goods almost 20 million above.
Although the exact cause of the fire remains unclear, traders suspect an electrical fault, possibly during the late closing hours of business. This is not the first time Singa Market has experienced a fire disaster. However, traders describe this incident as one of the worst in recent years. Leaders of the Traders Union say efforts are ongoing to compile a detailed record of those affected, especially traders who lost their entire livelihoods.
More than 1,000 shops and stalls that got burned, and a lot of injuries, and even from the speculation that there is a loss of life. So because more than 7 people were inside when the fire started.
The federal government's 5 billion naira emergency intervention is expected to ease tension and provide urgent relief for traders struggling to recover.
Governance Forum, under the able and competent leadership of Governor Hope, Odidi Kauzodima has also pledged 3 billion naira support to the victims of the power incident in Singa Market. Together, we have collectively contributed 8 billion naira to the victims of the fire disaster.
With less than 24 hours to the start of the Ramadan fast, prices of food items and other essential commodities are already beginning to rise. From Kano, Idris Jibrin, Global Television News.
Northwest correspondent Idris Jibrin, we appreciate you. In the meantime, the Nigerian Senate has directed the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to assess the extent of damage at Singa Market in Kano State and provide relief materials as well as financial aids to affected traders. The incident was said to have destroyed goods that are worth over 20 billion naira, crippling over 1,000 businesses, mostly small and medium enterprises. Kekelomo Okere completes the report.
Speaking on the matter through a motion, the Deputy President of the Senate, Jibril Barau, described the incident as alarming, which according to him has left 7 people missing and plunged traders and their families into distress amid economic hardship. He noted that preliminary reports blamed the extent of the damage on faulty firefighting infrastructure, poor emergency response, and absence of modern safety system.
You know that Inferno reportedly destroyed goods and property valued over 20 billion naira. Over 20 billion naira. Affecting more than 1,000 businesses, predominantly small and medium-scale enterprises that serve as a backbone of the local economy.
Supporting the motion, lawmakers highlighted the importance of markets for regional commerce, employment and other economic activities, noting that the extent of the damage coupled with lack of insurance support could increase unemployment, social instability, among others.
This is an international market which our surrounding countries, more especially Niger, Chad, Cameroon, up to Central Africa, depend on that market on the provision of essential commodity. Mr. President, the situation is very pathetic.
To lend my voice to support that motion, that everything that needs to be done should be done. Thank you.
In response, the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, commiserates with the victims of the unfortunate incident. He therefore called for urgent steps to prevent a repeat of the incident in the state and other parts of the country.
Through the National Emergency Management Agency to urgently assess the extent of damage and provide immediate relief materials and financial assistance to affected traders, as well as intensify search and rescue operations in collaboration with security agencies for the recovery of those missing.
The Senate commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his intervention for the release of 3 billion naira for the victims of the unfortunate incident. Kekelomo Okere, Global Television News.
And I'll turn to other stories for you. Nigeria's march toward a fully digital economy has received a boost as spouses of members of the House of Representatives undergo intensive digital literacy training in Abuja. The 2-day workshop, organized in partnership with the National Information Technology Development Agency, is aimed at equipping participants with relevant technology skills to function effectively in a fast-evolving digital world. Aniete Patrick has more.
Declaring the program open, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, who represented the Speaker, described women as strong pillars of support in governance. He urged the participants to maximize the opportunity to strengthen their capacity and expand their contributions to national development.
You are very strategic in making sure that the voting on this bill goes towards the right or goes towards the left. You are the powerhouses that will shape how the voting on that day will go.
Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, says the initiative aligns with the federal government's digital transformation agenda. He noted that empowering women and technology-driven skills will further accelerate social-economic growth.
I therefore encourage you to approach this program not merely as a training session, but as a strategic empowerment platform, one that strengthens your institutional voice, sharpens your leadership capacity, and enhances your ability to contribute meaningfully.
Convener of the workshop and wife of the speaker, Fatima Abbas, encouraged the spouses to embrace digital knowledge as a critical tool for leadership, advocacy, and community development.
The digital transformation of our nation must be inclusive. It must ensure that women in leadership spaces are confident participants in the digital economy. This collaboration demonstrates foresight and commitment.
Director General of NIDA, Kashifu Inua, revealed that the agency is working towards achieving 95% digital literacy nationwide by the year 2030, adding that the program is part of broader efforts to build a digitally inclusive Nigeria.
This workshop and training is designed to achieve three things: to train you on leadership, because we are in a digital era. We need digital-driven leaders.
The workshop continues with practical sessions on leadership, well-being, and digital opportunities as participants position themselves for greater impact in a technology-driven society. From the National Assembly, Aniete Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
Thank you, Aniete. This is Global Television, and tonight you're watching the live broadcasts of News Prime with Uyi Agmofwebe. The news continues after these weather forecasts, plus business, foreign, and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please don't go away.
Hello, welcome to the weather forecast for Wednesday. If you're in the northern and north-central region of the country, expect thick dust haze as the dry, dusty winds from the Sahara Desert continue to reduce horizontal visibility significantly. Motorists are advised to drive with caution, while airline operators should check the eFlight folder portal for latest weather updates. And if you're sensitive to dust particles, step out with a nose mask and please take necessary precaution. Down south, the inland areas of the south will see moderate dust haze, while residents of the southwestern states should watch out for morning thunderstorms as well as some thundery activities in parts of Kogi states. Progressing into the afternoon and evening hours of Wednesday, these storms will spread to include parts of Delta and Edo states. Stay with us for temperature forecast. I am Theodora Itum. Thank you for watching.
Well, thank you so very much, everyone, for staying with us here on tonight's news broadcast. The rest of the news now continues with business. The federal government has called for stronger collaboration among stakeholders to unlock the potential of Nigerian youth in agriculture as it hosted the maiden National Agribusiness Youth Dialogue in Abuja. Aniete Patrick has details.
The dialogue, organized by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, brought together policymakers, development partners, and young agripreneurs under the theme Building Climate Resilient and Finance-Enabled Pathways for Youth in Agri-Food Systems in Nigeria. Speaking at the event, Minister of Agriculture and Food Security Abubakar Kyari described the gathering as a clarion call to harness the energy and innovation of young Nigerians who make up over 70% of the population. He stressed that empowering youth with access to finance and opportunities would not only support individual businesses, but also strengthen markets and build resilient agri-food systems.
It is precisely because of this dual reality that this gathering could not be more timely. Agriculture remains the backbone of economic activity across Africa, employing a significant proportion of the labor force and contributing substantially to gross domestic product.
The minister noted that although agriculture remains the backbone of many African economies, structural challenges persist, making youth-driven innovation critical to transforming the sector. In his remarks, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Dr. Marcus Ogumbi, said achieving food security under President Bola Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda requires deliberate investments in young people, especially in the face of climate variability, limited finance, and infrastructure gaps. Development partners, including representatives of the Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, commended Nigeria for taking the lead in domesticating the African agribusiness youth strategy with a target to increase youth and women participation across food system value chains.
We're talking about finance-enabled pathways. I'm happy to see that the Nigeria Credit Guarantee Company is present here and other organizations. We're talking about nutrition. So we need to be able to work together, but we need to do something differently.
We just took like old statistics from 2022 from MBS. 50.8 million young people are unemployed in Nigeria. And we said if we take out of that 50.8 million and just say that 40 million is supported, 1 million plus across every state in the agriculture sector.
The event also featured exhibitions of youth-driven agribusiness innovations inspected by the minister and other stakeholders. Annie T. Patrick, reporting for Global TV News.
Let's go to the foreign scene now, where cattle have been vaccinated in Cape Town after South Africa declared a state of disaster amid a fast-spreading foot and mouth outbreak. Agriculture Minister John Steenhuisen said vaccination is one part of the strategy, noting that it will be followed by strict surveillance to curtail further spread. In January, South Africa rolled out a 10-year drive to vaccinate nearly 20 million cattle as a fast-spreading foot and mouth outbreak hit herds and squeezed key export markets. The highly contagious viral infection, also known as FMD, is not dangerous to humans, but particularly affects ruminant livestock such as cattle, sheep, and goats. It causes fever, blisters in the mouth and near the hoof, and sometimes death.
So we're hoping now with the declaration of the state of disaster, we will be able to see roadblocks, we'll be able to get assistance from the SAPS, SANDF, Metro Police and the like to be able to come and assist us with those movement controls. Vaccination is just one part of the strategy. It has to be followed by strict surveillance and movement control as part of a toolbox of things that are used to stop the spread of it.
The outbreak began in 2021 and has since spread to all but one of South Africa's 9 provinces. Agriculture Minister John Steenhuisen said, noting that it has taken a financial and emotional toll on farmers. Since losing its status as an FMD-free country in 2019, he says farmers have faced unprecedented challenges. Uyi. Let's turn to sports for you. A World Football governing body, FIFA, is yet to deliver its verdict on the petition submitted by the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, alleging that Democratic Republic of Congo fielded ineligible players during last November's 2026 World Cup African playoffs. Nigerians were kept on edge on Monday in anticipation of the ruling, as the Intercontinental playoffs are scheduled to take place from March 26 to March 31 in Mexico. The Super Eagles missed out on automatic qualification during the qualifying series last year. However, they advanced to the African playoffs, where they were eventually beaten by DR Congo on penalties. Several unconfirmed reports circulated on Monday regarding the team's fate, but NFF President Ibrahim Gusau said the federation was still awaiting communication from FIFA. That's it on News Prime. Here's a recap of some of our top stories. The House of Representatives has passed the Electoral Act Amendment Bill to allow for electronic transmission of election results. In business, the federal government has called for stronger collaboration among stakeholders to unlock the potential of Nigerian youths in agriculture, as it hosted the maiden National Agribusiness Youth Dialogue in Abuja. On the foreign scene, cattle are being vaccinated in Cape Town after South Africa declared a state of disaster amid a fast-spreading foot and mouth outbreak. And finally, in sports tonight, we told you World Football Governing Body, FIFA, is yet to deliver its verdicts on the petition submitted by the Nigeria Football Federation, alleging that Democratic Republic of Congo had fielded ineligible players during 2026 World Cup African playoffs. As always, we'd like to remind you that Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365, and Star Times, channel 276. We encourage you to subscribe and interact with us across all of our social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG, as well as other handles as you now see on your screen. On behalf of all my colleagues who have made tonight's news broadcast possible, I am Uyi Agmofwegbe in Abuja saying thank you for watching and bye-bye.